All right, Pete's in this morning with more on this nor'easter, and it really guess it depends on where you live, Pete, as far as how much snow people have.
Exactly, Patrick. Really, the heaviest amounts of snow so far have been out in Bristol County, Massachusetts. Actually, TJ Del Santo, who's helping me out this morning, he is just pointing out the heavier band right now passing through Somerset, Massachusetts. In fact, let's get right to live Pinpoint Doppler 12. Basically, the lighter blue represents where the lighter snow is. The darker the blue, the heavier the snow. And you can see a pretty heavy band right now pushing through Somerset, Fall River. And these have been moving from east to west, but what's been happening is some of them have actually been kind of falling apart as they move off into Rhode Island. But we're still going to be under the gun for some moderate to heavy bands of snow pretty much everywhere this morning. I think the heaviest zone, though, will be out here in Bristol County, Massachusetts, between about 195 and 95 and 495. So we'll watch this carefully this morning. The morning commute will be slow, and visibility will be poor at times during those heavy bands of snow. Winter storm warning continues for Providence County, Bristol County, Massachusetts. Lesser amounts of snow expected here across South County down through Newport, Westerly. That's why we have a winter weather advisory in place. Doesn't mean it's not going to be tricky travel, just not quite as much snow expected. And when we look at our latest wind advisories, you can see they're primarily just for the south coast, Westerly, Newport, Jamestown, New Bedford. It still will be windy inland, just not quite as gusty at the coast, where we could see some gusts between 40, 45 miles an hour. Hasn't been so bad the past hour. You could see a gust of 24 miles an hour in Newport. But as we start to warm things up a little bit throughout the late morning and afternoon, I do expect those wind gusts to pick up a little bit, especially at the shore. Temperatures are below freezing for the most part. That's why any snow that falls will stick here for the next several hours. A coastal flood warning not for our coast here in Rhode Island or southern Massachusetts. This is for the eastern coast of Massachusetts only, including Plymouth County out towards the Cape. Just terrible, terrible flooding. They've been pounded repeatedly by multiple high tides. I believe they have another bad one coming up, so we'll have to watch that situation closely out there in eastern Massachusetts. In the meantime, we do have the snow falling in Providence. Some of that snow starting to stick right now. We're 30 in Providence, Block Island 32, Newport 30, New Bedford you're at 33 degrees. And it's in places like Newport and Bedford, which will be right around the freezing mark throughout the morning, so the snow may have a harder time sticking in that part of New England, but the rest of us will be below freezing for at least several hours. You can see Block Island right now picking up a sustained wind out of the north at 17 miles an hour. So the snow machine will be going here for the next several hours. You can see wave after wave of snow pushing through. Again, it's not heavy the whole time, but definitely the risk of getting stuck under some moderate to heavy bands of snow. And as we look at a wider view, you can see the center of the storm is well offshore, but what happened is a piece of energy got kind of caught up in this disturbance, swung through, and is actually producing some heavy bands of snow, enhancing that offshore storm. So sort of a combination of two disturbances this morning. We go hour by hour. This is 6 o'clock. Notice the blue representing where some of that heavier snow will be, especially out here in eastern Massachusetts and even into northeastern Rhode Island. Cumberland, Smithfield could see some heavy bands throughout the late morning into the early afternoon. By noontime, we really start to turn off the switch. Could still see some lingering snow or sleet there across the eastern Massachusetts coast. And then into the afternoon and evening, it's still windy with some lingering rain and snow showers. So when we add everything up, we're talking about 2 to 5 inches across most of the area, 3 to 6 here in northern Rhode Island, and then 6 to 9 possible from Attleboro, Mansfield. Keep in mind, we've already seen impressive amounts yesterday through the overnight hours in that part of Massachusetts. 1 to 3 here at the south coast because of those borderline freezing temperatures. And 4 to 8, I've kind of circled this bullseye here in central Connecticut. If you happen to be trying to get to that part of New England today, it looks like another band of snow pops up here over the next several hours into central Connecticut. 7-day Futurecast showing that we have a decent weekend on the way once we get through all of this. Saturday, we're at 40 degrees. Sunday, 45 degrees with mostly sunny skies. TJ is here updating the website. You can check in with that. And we also have a blog. You can find that under Tony's weather blog on the weather section of our website. Now we get you out to Jam Cam.